Hi everyone, it's Terry here sharing my latest layout for Bramble Fox, and I'm using the May Fox box for this layout. So I've pulled out these perspectives, the Let's Wander, some of the trees, and then that lovely compass. I'm using an older collection now from One Canoe 2 when they collaborated with American Crafts, because I wanted some outdoor woodland type themed stash to use. So I've decided for this layout that I want to kind of go with a bit of a vertical ripped design. So I'm just looking at where I can tear this blue paper. So I want to pull in the blue in this collection because of that blue perspective for the title. But because this was the cut apart sheet, I wanted to try and make sure it was a section that I might not use the reverse of. So just ripped the edges and then kind of roughed them up a bit with my finger to give them more texture. So you'll see I do the same with this light blue piece as well, and then I pull out more of like a red gingham type pattern to give me like a small strip to tuck in as well. So I've got two photos here, one's like 3x4 and then one's a little bit smaller from a trip that we had during lockdown to a local woods near us, and we walked about 15k. So I'm just adding those strips now to a piece of white cardstock, and then shortly I do go off camera and stitch down the edge of the navy blue paper. But before I do that, I do decide to mat my photos on some scraps of patterned paper, again from the One Canoe 2 collections. So I'm using a mix of lots of different collections of theirs. I think there was Creekside and Saturday Afternoon were two of the later ones. So I'm just trying to decide what to back that smaller photo on, and I did pull out the sticker sheet to see if there was any like tags or anything there that I could use, but they weren't the right size. So I've gone with this green patterned paper that's got trees on it. Just having a play around with composition, and now I've stitched that left hand side. So I think I'm going to go with this composition with the photos overlapping the ripped patterned paper, but you do see me move things around a little bit as I try to work out where I want things. Sometimes I delete big sections where I do a lot of messing about trying to decide on composition, but I thought it was quite nice to see how my process kind of is for this layout, because it didn't take too long. Now I've decided on my composition, I'm going to add some stamping to the background. So I've pulled out a couple of different stamp sets, one by Carabelle Studio and another from Ali Edwards. So I'm just adding these kind of leaf shapes from Carabelle. And I've pulled out some different colours from my Distress Ink collection. So two greens, kind of this pumice stone colour, and then Stormy Sky. So I think it was Forest Moss and Peel Paint, the two greens. So I'm just using different colours in and around to kind of create my own stamped frame where the photos are going to sit. So just keep popping the photos back on to see where I've got gaps, where I might need to add some more, and where the title's going to go. So I pick the same stamp and then I stamp it multiple times around where I'm going to have that kind of frame. And I've used each colour once. So because I've got that blue compass, I thought this compass from the Ali Edwards set would work really well, stamped in blue, so that's kind of the final bit. So I'm just looking at if there's anything else I want to add, but I think it's time to crack on with creating the layout. So I'm going to add my title to the bottom of the page. So it's quite a heavy on the bottom half of this page, and I do leave quite a lot of white space at the top, which is something that I do more of now. I always used to feel like I needed to add something there, but I'm much happier to leave that free now, particularly if there's a lot going on, like cluster wise and embellishment wise. So I'm just working out where I want to put my other perspectives. So I've got that row of trees that I've just put above the photo of me and my partner, and now I'm just adding the title underneath. So I do have that kind of white gap under my photo where the Let's Wander is, and it does annoy me, so you will see I do add another bit of stamping there. I pull out this journaling piece and that sits there for quite a while, and then I decide I don't like it and it disappears again. So I'm just going through all my packs of ephemera, pulling out bits that I think might work. I've pulled out a flare from my stash that says Story of Us. So I also go back to the sticker sheet to see if there's anything else I can use, and I've pulled out that kind of tree ring, and that does make an appearance later on. I've gone for that big rucksack that's just tucked under my photo to kind of give me a base to add some more embellishment on top. So it's just a case now of me working out where I want to put things. So I pulled out this Saturday afternoon set, but it's a slightly different colourway to what I've been using, so there's not much on there that I can use. And you can see I pulled back out that tree ring to again create kind of a background layer for a cluster of other embellishments. So I'm adding a couple more perspectives and that little flask. So this collection adds some of these little crosses in, and because they're the blue spotty pattern that I've used on the left hand side, I decided to pull out some of those to use. And you can see I've finally got round to adding something to where that Let's Wander is. So I had a leaf shape. I did try the red camera from the perspective set this month, but it's just too bright. So I'm just adding some green baker's twine through the top of my compass, and then I'm gonna glue it down, but I'm gonna have it look like it's hanging from the top of the page. So you just see I just play around with my twine, working out how I want it to go. And I just want it loose so it looks like it's just kind of laid there. And finally, just add in a few gold splatters. So there's my finished layout. Thank you for joining me on YouTube today. I will put all the links in the description below, and don't forget to subscribe and add a comment if you want to. Thanks again.